Yeah, that's right. But more importantly, I've had a significant role in putting out a story that's really in the public interest. As your former guest said, Chris Pincher was in a role where he had responsibility over people's welfare. Now, in Westminster, over the past few months, we've been rocked with sex pest allegations, not just pertaining to Tory MPs, but Labour and the Scottish Nationalist Party too. We've had staffers of MPs sort of band together and demand action, and some of them were actually sent to demand action from Chris Pincher, which was just ridiculous because the allegations against him were what we in Westminster parlance termed an open secret. Every man and his dog on the parliamentary estate, more or less, knew that this man had some really, really nasty rumours attached to his name. So it was really important that this story came out.
Yes. Why did it take such a long time to come out, given that these concerns about Chris Pincher had been raised in many months, if not years, before this time?
So the main reason for that is because victims, understandably, have been very scared to speak out. So the press here have been trying to get stories about Pincher out for 5 years, around that amount of time. One victim that I spoke to was terrified of the stigma that he believed came with being associated with an alleged sexual assault, and had been really worried about his reputation, what it would do for his career in politics, because so much of politics is about who likes you, who you know, and what your name represents. And they didn't want to have their name representing what they believed would be these sort of allegations. So it's been tough to get people to come on the record. But I did know that once this story came out in The Sun, it would be a Pandora's box. A whole load of people would come forward. And that's exactly what's happened.
Do you think Boris Johnson made a critical error in, again, at first denying knowledge of what, to your point, was an open secret?
Yeah, a crucial error. This story was pretty much the straw that broke the camel's back for his leadership, but he just sort of dug the hole even deeper when another story came out that an allegation was made about Chris Pincher during his time in the Foreign Office. That allegation was investigated by civil servants and it was upheld. Now, Boris Johnson was personally briefed about this appointment and still made Pincher Deputy Chief Whip. And when asked by the British press whether he knew about allegations, the story changed within the space of hours, because we started to receive evidence that even though his team was saying he had no idea, he actually had been briefed in person, and not even that long ago. This was 2019 we're talking about. So that, for a lot of ministers, was the final straw, and it's kicked off this absolute bloodbath of resignations. He tried to cling on for 24 hours and finally realised that his time was up.
Yeah. You know, we've heard repeatedly about the lies Boris Johnson has told during the course of his prime ministership, the revisionist stories. Why do you think it was this particular story, the lies around this story, that it was the final straw? And how damaging is it for his legacy?
I think it's incredibly damaging for his legacy, and only made worse by the fact that he tried so hard to stay on when it was so obvious that there was no viable way he could continue in Number 10. I think what really captured a lot of people about this story was just the ugliness of the allegations, the seriousness, and also the questionable legality as well. So with Partygate, even though he was found to have breached the laws at the time, it was pertaining to, like, you know, a fun party. Whereas here, with alleged sexual assault, that's a whole nother layer of real seriousness, really damaging to victims and damaging to the Conservative brand, which there's been around 4 sex pest allegations relating to Tory MPs in the past few months. We review by-elections here. Both of them were off the back of sex-related scandals. So it was just really a final straw for a lot of ministers who had been staying loyal for so long.
Indeed. No, really excellent reporting, and an interesting day for you to watch play out and, of course, continue reporting on. Thank you so much for making time for us.